Lady Gaga's new song from Wednesday in Season 2 is the perfect track for a deep and meaningful ESL lesson. Hi, I'm Marcia from the Song Activity Factory. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use my 5-step Music Plus framework to turn this song into an unforgettable classroom experience. To help me break it all down, I've used Google's AI tool, NotebookLM, to create the step-by-step explainer you're about to see. All right, let's get right into it.
So if you're an ESL teacher, listen up, because your next lesson plan is about to get a serious upgrade. Today, we're going to break down exactly how to take this amazing song and turn it into a truly unforgettable experience for your students, one that goes way beyond a simple worksheet. But first, can we just get real for a second? I want you to think about a lesson you planned. You know the one. On paper, it was absolutely perfect. The grammar points were crystal clear, the activities were logical, but then in the classroom, something just fell flat. There was this invisible wall. It's like educator Marcia Bonfim says, we get so focused on drilling tenses and building lists that we teach the mind, but we completely forget the soul. Our lessons are technically correct, but they're just silent. You've felt that, right? That quiet hum in the room when you know your students can hear the words you're saying, but they aren't feeling the language? It is honestly one of the most frustrating things as a teacher. You've done everything by the book, but the spark, the energy, it just isn't there. Well, what if I told you there's a system, a reliable way to build that connection every single time you teach? The key is to tap into a language that our souls already speak fluently: music. A song literally gives language a heartbeat. And look, this isn't just some feel-good idea. It's actually rooted in some pretty deep science. Turns out, music and language travel along the exact same neural highways in our brain. That means using music makes learning feel less like work and more like just a natural human connection. And this really connects that gut feeling we have with proven theory. Music lowers what we call the affective filter, that wall of anxiety that can stop learning dead in its tracks. It delivers what the legendary Stephen Krashen called perfect comprehensible input. It forges those deep personal connections that Jean Piaget knew were absolutely essential. And it even taps into the innate pattern recognition that Noam Chomsky talked about as being the blueprint for all language. So you see, it's not just fun, it is profoundly effective. So okay, we're all on board, music works. But how many of us have done this? You find a great song, you get excited, you go online looking for an activity, and what do you find? Gap fill after gap fill after gap fill. It's soul-crushing. We take this vibrant, living, breathing piece of art, and we just flatten it into a boring old worksheet. All the joy just gets sucked out and it becomes a test. We know there has to be a better way.
And this right here is the heart of the problem. A song is meant to be an experience. Turning it into a passive listening test completely misses the entire point. We cross our fingers and hope for engagement, but, hope isn't a strategy. We need a framework. We need a reliable map that can guide our students from just being passive listeners to becoming active creators.
And here it is. This is that map. It's called the Music Plus framework, and it was created by Marcia Bonfim from the Song Activity Factory. Now, this isn't just a random collection of cool activities. No, it's a 5-step system that's specifically designed to create the psychological state of flow. That amazing feeling where students get so completely immersed in what they're doing that learning feels totally effortless and even joyful. So the framework is basically a 5-step journey. It all starts with Motivation Plus, which is all about lighting that initial spark. Then we build a bridge to their minds with Understanding Plus. From there, we give them the tools they need with Skills Plus. And then we build a community through Interaction Plus. And that final step, Creativity Plus, that's where the real magic happens, where students are transformed from just consumers of the language into creators. Let's see what this looks like in the real world. So let's put this framework to the test. We're going to use Lady Gaga's powerful new hit, The Dead Dance, to see how it works. We're going to walk through the entire Music Plus framework step by step and build a lesson that's not only super engaging, but also pedagogically rock solid. We always start with M for Motivation Plus. And the goal here is so simple. We want to create an emotional yes before they've even heard a single lyric. We are not pre-teaching vocab. We're not explaining the song's meaning. We are speaking directly to the heart, not the head, because our first job is to spark curiosity. Okay, so here's a quick idea. Show your students 4 pictures of very different people. Maybe a slick-looking politician, a brooding rock star, an artist. You get the idea. Then you just pose this one question. One of these people is the criminal from the song. Who do you think it is and why? bam! Instantly, your students are making predictions, they're justifying their opinions in English, and they are dying to find out the real story. The hook is officially set. Okay, now that their hearts are open and they're curious, we build a bridge to their minds. This is Understanding Plus. The whole goal here is to build a cognitive foundation, almost like a mental home for the song to live in. And we do this by activating what our students already know about the song's main themes.
So with the Dead Dance, the central theme is all about resilience, right? It's about rebirth after you've been emotionally destroyed. So in small groups, you can have your students create a mind map for the phrase, coming back stronger. Then you introduce just a few key phrases from the song, like killed me inside or creature of the night, and ask them to predict how these might fit in. See what we're doing? Now, when they finally hear the lyrics, those words have a place to land.
Next up is S for Skills Plus. Now, this is where the explicit language practice comes in. We are giving our students the actual tools they need to express themselves, but, and this is key, it's always rooted in the meaningful context of the song. No more dry, disconnected grammar drills. Here, we're discovering grammar and vocabulary as living, breathing parts of the music.
And the Dead Dance is just loaded with these incredible metaphors.
So a perfect Skills Plus activity is to have students match these powerful lines to their meanings. I mean, analyzing a line like, "You killed my queen with just one pawn," that isn't just vocabulary work. That is deep comprehension. It's critical thinking, it's cultural learning, all rolled into one. It's language practice with a real purpose. All right, so now our students have the tools. The next step is to create a space where they can actually use them together. This is Interaction Plus. Here, the focus shifts away from individual practice and towards genuine, authentic communication. We're turning the classroom from just a collection of individuals into a real community, using the song as our meeting place. The whole vibe of this song is pretty dark and vengeful, right? So let's lean into that. You can propose a debate topic. Revenge is the best way to heal. Agree or disagree. Students have to use the language and the ideas from the song to back up their opinions. And remember, the goal here isn't perfect, flawless grammar. The goal is the messy, beautiful process of communication, of negotiation, and peer-to-peer learning. And that brings us to the final step, the absolute pinnacle of the framework, C for Creativity Plus. This is the moment. This is when the student stops being just a listener and finally becomes a creator. We're not just asking them to understand the song anymore. We're asking them to transform it, to express their own personal response. This is where the language truly, deeply becomes their own. The bridge of the song is this hypnotic, repetitive chant, "Do the dead dance, but I'm alive on the dance floor." So here's the challenge for your students. In pairs, rewrite it. What if it wasn't the dead dance? What if it was the healing dance? Or maybe the freedom dance? They get to create a whole new chant with a new triumphant final line. In that moment, they're not just learning English, they are actively using English to create something new, something personal, and something powerful. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Building this kind of rich, multi-layered experience for every single song, well, it sounds like a lot of work. And planning all of this from scratch, yeah, it can take a ton of time. But what if I told you that you could map out this entire amazing journey in under 5 minutes? Just look at this comparison for a second. The old way meant hours of searching for ideas, wrestling with those soulless worksheets, and basically just crossing your fingers and hoping your student would be engaged. The new way, it's one powerful AI prompt that generates a complete, creative, and pedagogically sound music plus lesson plan for any song you can think of in just a few minutes. It's a total game changer. This is all possible thanks to the 5-minute Song Lesson Plan AI cheat sheet from the Song Activity Factory. It basically contains one master prompt, which was expertly engineered by Marcia Bonfim herself, that you can just copy and paste into ChatGPT. You add the song lyrics, and it does all the heavy lifting for you. And you can download it completely for free right now at songactivityfactory.com. Look, this isn't about replacing teachers with AI. Not at all. It's about empowering you to do what you do best. To connect, to inspire, and to create that genuine soul-level spark in your classroom. So I'll leave you with this one final question. What song will you transform first?
And that's the real secret. This isn't just a tool. It's a key to empower you to do what you do best. Create that genuine, soul-level spark in your classroom. I know this can be a game changer for your lesson planning. and I can't wait for you to try it. Your free cheat sheet is waiting for you in the description below. Before you go, what's one idea that sparked your curiosity? I'd love to read about it in the comments. Thank you for your beautiful energy and happy teaching!